If you remember Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, it was one of the best Android smartphone of 2020 and probably the best camera setup of any smartphone that costs only $700. And as you all know, Xiaomi Mi 11 has launched and we have review in this channel. Plus, I'm using this smartphone for more than a month now. So I wanted to test the camera capabilities of Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra and Xiaomi Mi 11. So let's dive into the video. At first, I would like to say that this Mi 11 has triple camera setup combined of 108 megapixel regular, 13 megapixel ultra wide and 5 megapixel of telephoto macro lens. On the other hand, Mi 10 Ultra has quad camera setup with the widest 20 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, 48 megapixel telephoto zoom lens and 48 megapixel main shutter with 12 megapixel portrait camera. So spec-wise, Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra has more cameras, that means you are getting a bit more flexibility. But on the other hand, Xiaomi Mi 11 has 108 megapixel camera, which Mi 10 Ultra doesn't have. Plus, it has the latest and greatest Snapdragon 888 processor. That means you are getting a better image signal processor. So let's dive into the videos and photos, ultra wide angles, videos, and see which camera is doing actually better in real life. Okay, if you look at the first image, I could say both the images from Mi 10 Ultra and Xiaomi Mi 11, both are doing great, both have very good dynamic range, extremely contrasty image and enough amount of details in both the images. But I can already seeing some exposure changes and some color changes in those two images. I think Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra seems to have a bit more washed out images. I will not call it washed out. I would say just Xiaomi Mi 11 has a bit contrasty image. It has, on the other hand, Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra has a less contrasty image. It has also some color differences too. If you look into the light of this card, you will see that Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra makes it a bit more pinkish. On the other hand, Mi 11 is preserving its red color. It is more accurate, I would say. Now, if we look into the scopes of these two images, so I am removing the Xiaomi Mi 11. Now, if we look at the exposure brackets, it will say that it has values from 95 to 10, although 0. That means almost no highlights is clipping in this image. So I would say that it has a very good dynamic range and exposure level is on point. Now, if you look at the saturation level or the color level of this image, I would say in this portion you are seeing some lines. So if a color like this red color is crossing the line, then you will say that red color has a bit more saturation, and plus you will see that the yellow color has also some oversaturation problem. On the other hand, cyan color also has some oversaturation problem. So as you can definitely say that the colors are a bit more saturated than the standard colors. Now on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, if we look into the Mi 11, we will see that it is a bit more controlled. Definitely, it has red color is more controlled, cyan colors is more controlled, although yellow color is still a bit more saturated, but I would say this is an improvement. Definitely, this is an improvement from Mi 10 Ultra to Xiaomi Mi 11. Plus, if we compare the exposure of these two images, you will see that Xiaomi Mi 11 has bit more dynamic range, as it has the yellow colors, the sky of this image, which is hitting almost 100, and it has also data in up to the zeros. So exposure is well controlled in Xiaomi Mi 11, though it has a bit more brightness. It does not feel like it is washed out. So I would prefer the Xiaomi Mi 11 in this image. Now moving into the next image, you will see that the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra and Mi 11 both are doing great. Still, the saturation level is relatively better in Xiaomi Mi 11. Plus, there are some better details in Xiaomi Mi 11 too. It is up to 3x and 2x zoom on Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra and Mi 11. Now, let's move on to the bit zoom further. Now, we are zooming 10 times. As the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra has a 10x telephoto zoom lens, so we can definitely see that the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra has better details, better dynamic range, better colors. Now let's zoom into 30 times. As this Mi 10 Ultra had that 10x optical zoom capabilities and a 48 megapixel sensor, so it could zoom in digitally, still preserving some details in this shot. As you can see, Mi 10 Ultra has a very good details. If you look into the signboards, it has very much details. On the other hand, Mi 11 just does not have. Now moving on to the next image, this is an ultra wide angle shot. In this image, Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is nailing the photos. It has a very wide field of view that I have never used in any smartphone. Like Xiaomi, iPhones and even Huawei smartphones does not have this much wider field of view that is produced by Mi 10 Ultra. So I would say Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra definitely have a wider field of view. Now if we talk about the exposure and the color values, I would say both of them looks similar. Although I would say Mi 11 is preserving a bit more details in the brick here, like as you can see. Same thing goes on these images. Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra has a better wider field of view, plus it looks a bit brighter image. Now in this particular image, as you are looking into the vector scope, it says it has no saturation that is going out of the standard range. So in this ultra wide angle lens, I think Xiaomi is doing a better job than the regular shots, as it is preserving a bit more natural saturation, which is very good to naked eyes. Now let's move on to the portrait shots. In this image, as you can see, Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is a bit more zoomed in. On the other hand, Xiaomi Mi 11 is a bit wider field of view. As my personal preferences, I do like portrait images to be more zoomed in. It should have that feelings that it is compressed image. Plus, Mi 10 Ultra seems to have a better dynamic range. As you can see, background of me is totally blurred out well, plus the dynamic range and everything is well detailed here. But I can definitely say Xiaomi Mi 11 has a bit more details in these pictures, plus it is a bit contrasted too. Now if we look into the skin tones, I would say both of them looks very good to me. Though Mi 10 Ultra seems to have a bit brighter skin, on the other hand Mi 11 have a bit less brighter skin on the right side. Now let's move on to the next images. As we have seen that the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra had a telephoto zoom lens. So if you want to have that same perspective from Xiaomi Mi 11, you have to move further, and you can definitely say the right side images does not look that great, as it is not compressing, it is just distorting my faces. So I would prefer the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra for portraits in every scenarios. Now if you look at the videos, I would say both the videos looks great, though I do prefer the brighter look of Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, and it also has some better details too. And the subject is coming near to me. It seems like the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra has a brighter image, a brighter skin tone. I do really like that. Plus it is preserving a bit more details in the t-shirt of this baby. So I do really like the images from Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. But if you look at the stabilizations, still I would say Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is doing a bit better job. The Xiaomi Mi 11 seems shakes a bit more. Plus if you pause here, you will see that the skin tone is looking great in Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. As you can see, for the stability, I would say both of them are really great, but I think Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is still doing great. Plus Xiaomi Mi 11 is facing focusing issues. That is a very concerning thing. Although if we look at the front selfie videos, you can see that the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is a bit more zoomed in. On the other hand, Xiaomi Mi 11 has a better, wider field of view. But I do actually prefer the zoomed in pictures of the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, not because it is zoomed in, but because it is exposing according to my faces. Both of them are overexposing the background, but I do say that Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is still preserving a bit more dynamic range, as it is preserving these details in my face as well as in the backside, as you are watching in this video. So I do really prefer the video quality of the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. Plus if you look at this image, it always tries to set the exposure according to my faces, which I think most people actually wants. They actually wants to focus on their faces. That's why I really like the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra images. Now move on to the video of low light. As you can see, both of them are doing great. I do see almost no grain in these images. That's a great job. That's really great job. As you can see, it is moving. Both of them has a very good stability, though I see some jittering. But I do prefer, I do not actually want to say which one is better, because I do not actually know. Both of them are very good similarities. Both of them are very much similar. Though I can say Xiaomi Mi 11 has a better color accuracy, but it's slight. It is very slight that you have to look for it. But otherwise, I do say in low light video, both of them are very good. Both of them are great, I would say. Please let me know in the comment section which one do you prefer. Okay, now let's move on to the low light photographies. I do say both of them looks quite similar. They have very accurate color representation or very similar color representation. Though I see Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is a bit wider field of view is giving. On the other hand, Xiaomi Mi 11 is a bit more compressed, plus it seems like it has a bit more slow shutter issues. But otherwise, both of them adequate amount of details, very good color reproduction, very good contrast, everything is fine. So now let's move on to the... Although I can say Xiaomi Mi 11 is a bit softer on the edges of the images, but I do prefer both of them what they are doing. Nothing to complain about these two images. Now move on to the next one. It is actually a very low light photographies. As you can see, Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra still here has a very ultra wide angle field of view. As you can see that the Xiaomi Mi 11 has a bit more dynamic range, as it is preserving better highlight details on the headlights of this car, plus on the lights as we are seeing. Plus Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra seems to have some glaring issues on the left side, as you can see, but I do actually like both of them, though Xiaomi Mi 11 might be preferable things for some of you. Now let's move on to the selfie cameras. This is the game changes. Though I do not like the front cameras of any of this smartphone, I think in this price category, $700, there are plenty of smartphone that has a better selfie camera, like the Pixel 4a or Pixel 5. If I have to prefer some of them, I would go with the Xiaomi Mi 11, as it has a bit brighter image, a bit more details, and bit contrasting images. Now some of you might think that Xiaomi Mi 11 has a bit more beautification going on, though I turned off that beautification and took these images. But on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, oh my god, that is bad. That is really bad. It looks like it has been taken with a very old camera, maybe like 1995 or 2000s. That type of camera looks like it is way sharpened in these images. Oh my god, plus it does not have very bright images. I do not really like the front camera of Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra. I do really like the one from Xiaomi Mi 11, but I do not prefer either of them for selfie cameras. So if you are looking for a selfie camera smartphone that has a very good selfie camera, these are not your options. You have to go with another ones. But overall, I can say that Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra and Xiaomi Mi 11, both of them are very capable cameras in terms of their rear cameras. Though I prefer some of the videos of Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra, on the other hand, I do really prefer the images that is coming out with Xiaomi Mi 11. So it's kind of a win-win situation. I do not actually say which one is better, but Xiaomi Mi 11 for photography, Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is for videography. That is my preferences. So please let me know in the comment section which one do you prefer. And obviously, definitely subscribe to this channel and like this video if you like this. So for today, tata bye bye. দেখা হবে পরের কোনো ভিডিওতে।